Sometimes I think I'm like fucking crazy delusional, but then I'm like, well, YOLO. This is the wrong way. Just the wrong or worst way to think. I don't know. I mean, it's my way of thinking. I feel like I'm always in fight instead of flight, if I'm being honest. It's a horrible feeling. Yeah. Yeah, I sometimes feel like I base my worth on how I've been treated. So, mainly the education system. I think that kind of, yeah.
Tattoos, 'cause he's so pretty when he goes down on me. Who's in his fingers, has a display. I used to dive deep till a guy splashed in the face.
Hello, what's up? My name's Asha Jonas and I'm an advocate for teen mental health, OCD, Tourette syndrome and, you know, all that stuff. I developed OCD at 9 and, you know, being a 9-year-old with thoughts like that, it's crazy. And at 12 I developed Tourette's and, you know, it was just hard. I'm not gonna lie, it hasn't been easy, but I like doing these videos because I wish they were there when I was struggling. And for the longest of time I thought being sad and feeling depressed and not feeling worthy was the way I was supposed to feel. It's only now that I've got my music and got my hobbies like directing, script writing and all that, that I can actually click that that's not normal and that's not how people are supposed to feel. Yeah, so I wrote down a few notes of things that inspired me to talk about this, because I have really bad waves with low moods, and I'm very open about it because it's something that people don't really talk about, which is the most dangerous thing with having OCD, because that's when it really kicks in, the real like I'm a bad person type of stuff. So here's some things that inspired this production. I have a massive weight on my shoulders that pulls me down and it makes me feel sick. That's about me feeling constantly physically sick every month. Not like sick throwing up, but that feeling of like, you know. I don't understand why this happens to me instead of actual bad people, but even then I wouldn't wish it on them, which is about like, you know, when it's you know, when you see someone who's like a horrible person and they're living like their best life and doing the stuff, and you're here and you're not really going places, but even then that feeling's so overwhelming that you wouldn't want anyone to feel that way, if that makes sense. OCD is like a tipping point of a hill, and OCD is like a tipping point of a hill, and doing compulsions pulls you back. I don't know if I'm a songwriter. I don't know if it's because I'm a songwriter, sorry, but I always imagine myself on like this hill and me standing there like me leaning forward and then like doing a compulsion like brings me back and like kind of grounds me, but then you always bounce back, and it's like this motion, and then it's only you do the compulsions loads, and then you get further to the edge, and that's when like everything else kicks in with like the low mood, the sadness, and the overwhelming feeling. I've tried CPT, which I've tried multiple, and I've even tried CAMS, and even while doing CAMS I just got told to go back to school, which, if you know me, you know I dropped out at 14 due to this and other things. And you know, yeah, the education system made me question my worth and what I actually deserved, and it did, because of the way that my school treated neurodivergent kids. It was this thing of send them to a place called the Loft and leave them and let them kind of figure them out themselves. And like a lot of schools in Britain are like this, but certainly mine was get your foot in the door. So I was telling them I was going through like really bad mental health with like just like sadness, and like, you know, it's very common in Tourette's and OCD to suffer with suicidal thoughts and intentions, and that was a massive thing for me. And yeah, and they were just like, yeah, get a foot in the door, like, yeah, make sure she's in school though. So that really changed my brain, in the sense of like, oh well, people, I've got to fend for myself, people don't really care, and you know, and I mean, yeah, even to this day I have a hard time taking praise, but you know, and this is why I like doing these videos, because I felt like that, but it's not like that. It shouldn't define you. And yeah, I've got more. It eats at me every day, which is true. OCD is like this little seed, and then the more you water it, the more it grows, and I always think of it in my stomach and then going up. You know, I'm just Ash in it. Like, I'm not some super person, I'm not this mold, but I do know what it's like to feel alone, and I do know what it's like to feel lonely. And like I said, you could have an army of people going, oh, Ash, 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 come here, like, give me a hug, and it would mean nothing if you're alone, because being alone and being lonely are two completely different things. And I know that, and like, I have moments now where I get really sad and really lonely in it, but I just want to remind people that, like, if you've got dreams, no matter what people have said, no matter your position, the position that you're in right now, please just do anything to chase them, even if it's the thing that's giving you a little bit of optimism. Like, honestly, like, if you know me, you know that I like help neuro kids with like music and that's my dream, and like, I kind of do wish there was something in place for me like that, but then again, I wasn't leaving the house, so I can't really complain. But I think, like, I can't stress this enough, you've just got to do what you want to do in it. And like, I think the education system will change eventually, and I think a lot's going to come out about it, because it's not, you know, it's a privilege to have education if you're going about it the right way. You know what I mean? Like, it's like asking a friggin' elephant to climb a tree. It's not going to happen, is it? Like, not everyone's brain works the same. I definitely felt discriminated because, you know, I couldn't, you know, I'm not the best at, I'm not going to say couldn't, but I'm not the best at reading and writing and concentration. But that, I got told I wouldn't pass my GCSEs because of it. But then again, I'm a songwriter who sits there and writes literally notepads of songs, and it physically annoys me that people get told, young people, that they can't do something when they can. In fact, they can do something that's even better. Like, I got told, yeah, like I said, I couldn't, if I didn't spell, I wouldn't be able to pass my GCSEs. I write scripts, I write songs, you know, that's a time-consuming thing. Like, I put all my time and energy into that. You know, I do think OCD is something that's not talked about enough, but then again, there's all different types of OCDs, and I can understand why people wouldn't want to talk about them, if that makes sense. But, you know, OCD is not just cleaning and keeping things in a straight line. It might be for some, but, you know, it gets really dark sometimes, and it's not the nicest thing ever. And it's just about building a community in it and showing everyone love and peace. And, you know, sometimes I'm not the nicest to myself, and, you know, I go into a little self-destruct mood, but then again, you just bounce back up in it. Like, I say this all the time, and I can't stress it enough, the hardest thing a human can do is pick up and carry on, because it's so annoying knowing that you're probably going to fall again, and you're probably going to feel sad, but you got to pick up and you got to carry on. You just got to do it and do it and do it and do it. And I, you know, my whole fingers like that. And even now, like, yeah, I do what I get to do, but it's still a struggle. It's still hard, and I still have to pick up and carry on. And like that's all I can say, innit? Like, you don't understand how like proud I am of everyone who's struggling and like just deals with it. Like you don't realise how much of like a superhero you are. Do you know what I mean? Like you're indestructible. Like your mind's telling you these things and controlling you. Yeah, you're just picking up even though it's getting to you. Like that's so admirable, and like it's crazy. And I just think like to anyone struggling, you can't like dim your sparkles, you know what I mean? You can't dim that light. You just got to do it, because you never know what life has to offer. And don't let anyone tell you you can't do something, or you're not capable, or you won't pass anything, or you're different, or there's something not. Don't let anyone define you, because you are your own person and you want to smash it in everything you do. Hey, yeah. In it, yeah. So to anyone struggling, I'm insanely to everyone struggling, I'm insanely proud of you. And yeah, if you are interested in music or writing, send me a message and I'll help you in any way I can. And that goes to all ages. I'm not really like bothered, you know what I mean? Like I'll help anyone. Like I said, I know what it's like to not have like, you know, be lost and be confused but have a dream, and then like, oh, should I, you know, just do it, you know. You know, just do it. I'll offer you the best advice I can. But yeah, I hope you're having a lovely day. I need to say to have a lovely day, and if you're not, then I'm sending lots of hugs your way and like lots of love. So yeah, peace and love. It's a very Scouser thing, but yeah, you know, peace and love, Ash. Woo! I thought I was gonna make a tick-free video, obviously not. Okay. Oh, can't switch the camera off. Okay.